We're going to talk about something uncomfortable, which is money. And I hope that I can share my comfort and money with you as we have this conversation. Usually start this conversation with a game where I do words association. I say a word, you say whatever comes into your mind. Are you happy to play?
Yeah, let's do it.
Mobile phones,
Scrolling,
Instagram,
work,
holiday,
fun,
money,
work,
credit card.
confusing.
With all the words that I shared with you, which is the one that spiked for you?
Probably credit card.
You said it was confusing. Why is that?
I think there's a lot of options, especially at the age that I'm at, where I'm just learning how to manage all of that. It's not something I feel like was explained to me very well before I got to this point. And so it's like, man, how do I sort through all these? Do I want cash back? Do I want points? All the different things. And how do I automate it for all the different companies and systems out there? And do I want to automate it, or do I want to make sure that I'm keeping my eyes on it? It's a lot.
Where did you learn about money? Like, where did you get the education for money?
I wouldn't say it was from my parents. They are great examples, but not great explainers. My in laws have been very helpful. They are very good explainers. My husband has different experience than I do, and he has some co-workers that have just a special interest in investing and just all things capital. And they have been really helpful to an extent, I think. But it's also a very male-centered experience. I really like the book Financial Feminist. Um, that I think that was very eye-opening to me. It was helpful to hear a feminine perspective.
I don't know that one. What would be your best takeaway from that book?
The best takeaway was really she gives a pretty straightforward kind of checklist of how to go through your money. So it was like tracking your spending, making an emergency fund, and then there's like subsequent steps after that. And so for me, just to have like a basic structure that's like, hey, if I do this, it's good, and I can get fancy with it and more complicated after I figured this out.
So the simplicity of just having that checklist must be so nice too. Do you go back to it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it has little to dos at the end of each chapter. I like the actionable items. That's really helpful. Sometimes money advice is really vague and it's
Yeah.
hard to know, like, what does that actually look like in my finances?
Hmm. How has your relationship with money impacted your business? How long have you been going? Tell me first.
Not very long, so it's been just about a year. So yeah, so it's like a new journey, and I still feel so, like I'm sure you could tell I feel like a little bit of the tightness of like, oh, like, is it sustainable? Is it gonna last? Just because I haven't seen that, you know? And I think I'm getting to a point, and maybe a lot of creatives feel like this after the year where they're like, okay, oh, like I've seen it, like I know it, I know enough to keep going. It's okay.
What do you charge?
I charge something different for a lot of my clients, and that's in part because some are doing things that I want for portfolio projects, and I just love it. If it's related to fashion, I'm all in. I'll do it for whatever you can. Some clients just can pay more or are asking me to do things I don't like doing.
Mm,
And, you know, and it does take more energy for me to do things, that I have more tension with. And
yeah.
so I'm going to charge you a little bit more. And I think a lot of creatives work that way.
And when you're on a call and you're in that place when you have to discuss the price? How does that feel in the body?
It can feel tense. There are some people who are not price sensitive, they're just ready and excited to move forward with the project. And, that makes it easy for my side. And I think I'd, I'd like to mature to the point where I'm not reacting to my client's emotion.
You're 1 year in. The fact that you feel like you're like, yeah, I can do this. That's huge. There's so many people who start and they don't continue. You're still going. That's a huge win in my opinion. So well done.
Thank you.
Is there something about money that you've learned almost about yourself that you're like, I didn't know this about me, and it was rather revealing that you'd like to share with us?
I think one that probably a lot of people have gone through the same experience is that you have to work hard to make money. It has to be hard. But I love doing what I do. And it takes a lot of pressure off of financial conversations, off of pricing, off of everything to say, I can make money easily. It doesn't have to feel hard. And I've kind of integrated that into some mantras and affirmations. I make money easily. And some days I really believe it. And some days I'm like, I don't know, this feels kind of hard.
I love that. I do believe that money can be made easily. And I know that I can rub people the wrong way when I say that. I quite often say that your first 100K is the easiest to make. And they're like, oh, but I haven't been able to make that 10 years in. I'm like, oh, that's not the hard bit. The hard bit is the growth. Like, when you're at that stretch, I make a lot. I make a lot and I don't have enough time because people always sell time first, right? They're always like, oh, this is how much time I've got. This is how much I will sell. And I'm so glad to hear that you've got that mantra of like, I can make money easily. Because why should it be hard? I want it to be easy and accessible for all. And that doesn't mean to say that it's always going to be like that. But it's not worthy only if it is hard, because I know that there's some stories out there which are like that.
Right. Well, and I think it's kind of synonymous with my job has to be hard. My work has to be hard. And it's like, no, I want my work to be my passion. I want my work to be something that's fulfilling and that's going to be energizing and not draining. And so, maybe while it takes work and it takes time, I think the hard that I'm talking about that it's not is that it's exhausting and it burns you out quickly.
Yeah. And that's the part that you charge more for.
Yeah, exactly.
Is there anything that you'd like to share with the listeners?
At least being based in the US, there's a lot of financial concerns with freelancing because of healthcare, because of retirement savings, all those little things that get taken care of at a 9 to 5. And I just want to say, I think that for someone who's in their mid 20s, if I can figure out insurance, if I can figure out an IRA for retirement, if I can, you know, I just feel like a regular person. And so while it may seem scary if you feel like it's the right choice for you, it's there's a lot of tools and it's easier than it seems at first.
Amazing. I love leaving on that note, that anyone can achieve it. It's the possibilities are out there. All you need to do is look and you will see and take the action to follow through so you can achieve it. That's a wonderful note to leave it on. Thank you, Sarah. You've been absolutely amazing. Thank you for being open. It's not the easiest conversation to have, and I do ask hard questions. May not seem hard, or sound hard, but when you're on the receiving end of it on a podcast, it isn't easy. So, Sarah, thank you for your openness and for being here.
Of course, thanks for having me, Ivy.